take a look at these guys individually, Ricky Smokes and Brad Baylor, these guys could main event any Wrestling Open show that we have at the White Eagle. Hell, if they had marched toward contendership as singles, I'm sure they could have tried to become the #1 contenders to the Wrestling Open Championship. That's how good these guys are individually. And sometimes, as you know, when two great individuals come together, it doesn't work. There are chemistry issues. There are problems. But from the second these two came together in 2023, they have been unreal.
And a big part of that is the fact that they're like-minded. They both see themselves as young individuals who are deserving of essentially everything. Similar diets, similar meal plans, similar thought processes, similar ideologies with respect to professional wrestling. Even their lineage when it comes to wrestling has enough of a hand-in-hand that they're able to read each other prior to getting the opportunity to ever pick up the book. Now they have the book on each other. They've gathered up a library.
And as you know, Swipe Right started the Wrestling Open Tag Team Championship raffle where random teams got a shot at those tag team titles. And in successive weeks, they knocked off Sunshine Machine from the United Kingdom and the Shooter Boys. But ever since then, they've really just had the Miracle Generation picking at them over and over again. And the Miracle Generation said, you guys aren't acting like champions. You guys attacking your opponents after the match. That's not how champions handle themselves. Tonight, we'll show you how champions handle themselves.
And right now, Kylon not allowing any disrespect, not near his face or otherwise, and trying to prove why he and his partner, Dustin Flash Waller, should be champions by the end of the night.
And this is very, very uncharted territory for Kylon King and Dustin Flash Waller because we're used to them as young men. And don't get me wrong, they are, but when it comes to their wrestling careers, they are at a big-time crossroads because they have spent the majority of their young career with unparalleled success. And now, they're hitting speed bumps. And it's not like they're just hitting one. It's like those roads where you hit a patch one after the other. Are they going to be able to pick themselves up and find smooth roads?
And that's something that they're going to have to work through. I think we all have to do that in our wrestling careers. You have this great patch of just quick victory, this kind of rookie success. They're way past that now.
And now we are just, forget about a catch-as-catch-can classic here. These guys are just getting fired up. And look at Dustin. He's telling Kylon that you need to keep your focus here because if you don't keep your focus, our success could go out the window one more time.
Now, if Kylon loses his composure, he'll also lose the Miracle Generation the match.
As we are packed here, sorry brother, we are packed here at the Palladium. They are getting ready for our double main event still to come. Steel Cage Warfare and Steel Cage Wrestling Open Championship match between Big Bacon and Fancy Ryan Clancy. But right now, Swipe Right, what do they always want to do? They want to steal the spotlight.
And they'll have the opportunity to do that. There are few wins as big as defeating the Miracle Generation in the Palladium at the largest show Wrestling Open has to offer, and there's Dustin.
As Dustin Flash Waller getting a little flashy, if you will, tripping up Baylor. And there's a long history between Brad Baylor, Dustin Waller, and Kylon King because Brad Baylor starting his young career down at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling in Connecticut, and that is where Dustin and Kylon got their start. So there was a lot of helping out with Brad Baylor early in his career.
And I really have to give it to Dustin as he executes that great splash with an assist, and now Kylon with the drop kick.
And look at that. It's like they never left.
Ah, shooting star, and the moonsault.
Flawless by the Miracle Generation. And again, if they can just get this rolling a little bit, I feel like it'll be like riding a bicycle.
And these two, I mean, they're definitely rolling to say the least. I don't think I've seen these two execute those maneuvers that well, that cleanly in quite some time, and they're not rushing that in the way that they did in their youth.
Ducking that shot. Kylon King, one of the more underrated strikers in our great sport, but the Miracle Generation spending 537 days as the IWTV tag team champions before losing those to Fresh Air back in August. So they spent a lot of time on the top of the mountain, but as you know, ask any great champion in any combat sport, sometimes complacency sets in.
And it's very difficult. I don't know whether or not it was complacency, Paul. I just think the grind of it all, it beats down at you. And you saw it in their, even in their work, they're doing their very best to maintain this high level of performance. Now as challengers, they can bring it back, and we're seeing it now.
Double drop kick from the Miracle Generation. They are feeling so good as they have been one step ahead of Swipe Right, but I'm feeling a lot of deja vu because frankly, the first time around, at least the first time this year when they went head to head, they were also a step ahead of Swipe Right the entire time, and it was a bad ending for the Miracle Generation.
The thing about Swipe, oh my goodness, he drove him directly in the base of his neck.
As Flash makes the cover, lateral press.
5 minutes have elapsed. The time limit, 55 minutes.
Where did that 5 minutes go? This has been unbelievable action.
And they're moving so well. And here's the thing, Dustin Flash Waller, Kylon King, I've watched them compete. I've watched them work for such a long period of time prior to them becoming a tag team. And these two individually are just so gifted and driven that when you give them a personal reason to fight hard, you're gonna have a rough contest, my God.
Look at that big drop kick from the Smoke Show, Ricky Smokes. As even though Flash and Kylon have that speed advantage, if they had a foot race, I think it would be a photo finish, because Swipe Right are freak athletes in every aspect of the turn.
But with more muscle stacked up, big pin there. We heard Brad Baylor say last year, his meal plan, his regimen, his diet, the way he schemes everything about his athletic process, he believes it to be vastly superior to that of the Miracle Generation. I think it's going to take effect here.
As Ricky Smokes with a very arrogant cover, Dustin Flash Waller, man, what a career he has had at such a young age. Remember his match with Leo Rush back in 2023 that really showed everybody that he can hang with anybody. And I feel like even though Dustin Waller and Kylon King at certain points have had aspirations to go in there alone and try it, it's always like they circle back around and do what brought them to the dance. Can they take it a step further and be the best tag team at Wrestling Open?
And it's a claim that they've been able to make in the past prior to the introduction of the Wrestling Open Tag Team Championships. I think everyone here believes that they can absolutely get back to that mountaintop and become Wrestling Open Tag Team Champions for the very first time.
Sending Baylor backwards is Flash. Reversal. Oh, snap. Power slam. Hooks the leg. And you see that expert training by Pretty Paul Roma on display when it comes to Brad Baylor. This kid, he's only 20 years old, but as you have said, he is the 20-year vet.
He's gone so far beyond that claim. He's gone beyond, in my opinion, in the way that he works and moves and acts and wrestles. He's gone beyond the simple claim of veteran with respect to his motions. His youth used to be such an issue. His temper used to be such an issue. But he's found a way to center it for the most part as he parades a fan.
And Ricky Smokes getting the foot right into the throat of Dustin Flash Waller. Ricky Smokes, man, this guy might be one of the scariest prospects in a positive way, because even though I don't agree with the way he does things, hold on, man, this guy, when he's on, he might be one of the very best in the sport.
Deceptively tall, deceptively strong and quick. I've had the misfortune of experiencing him in the ring on 2 occasions this year. And I tell you, when you're in there with a man like that, you're a man that young especially, you're not expecting the power, the strikes like that beautiful boot. You don't know what's coming. Big cover.
Makes the cover, only a count of 2, but Brad Baylor, I don't think he's as good of an athlete as Ricky Smokes, hold on. But think about this, 20 years old, this guy works out like a maniac. he's still filling into his frame. This kid's gonna be a monster at some point, and he's already a powerhouse to begin with.
We're getting very close to this young man's final form. We're not there as of yet. He still has gold. This is a young man that I sincerely believe can truly take over this industry if he simply fixes his attitude. That's really the biggest issue.
Well, the attitude on display from Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes is all about showing everyone that the Miracle Generation is not only the past, they're strictly old news. We are the present, we are the future, we are the boys, quote unquote, as Brad Baylor said. And if they can knock off the Miracle Generation tonight, I think they're right.
And their focus has been on display. They were waiting for an opportunity. Now they're going back to basics, splitting this ring in half, breaking down the smaller of the two members of the Miracle Generation in Dustin Flash Waller, and trying to ensure that even if he does escape, I don't think he'll have much of a gas tank to utilize his specific type of offense.
Miracle Generation swipe right. Title
10
defense
minutes
number
of
3 for
the time
swipe
limit,
right.
50 minutes remain.
As man, this one has been action-packed as Flash Waller gets the jawbreaker. He has got to get over there and make the tag to Kylon if they want to shot, but Ricky Smokes like a jackal getting in there. Wait, hold on. This could be it. Created some separation.
His shin caught that eyebrow. Now,
look at Brad Baylor.
Geez.
No, Brad Baylor knew exactly when to get in that ring and ensure that the referee didn't see the tag.
And we really thought, I know Kylon was of belief, Dustin Flash Waller was of the belief that Kylon was finally back in. But right now you see the joy, the gusto, the admiration for their own work of Smokes and Baylor.
As Brad Baylor continuing to do what I think he loves more than winning and making money and getting with women, taunting the crowd. Wait, Flash Waller, he's coming to life here.
Flash.
Smokes has him.
There he goes.
Flash gets the boot up. Can Flash make it over? Oh, Smokes grabs the foot. These guys are just absolutely relentless. But so is Flash.
Flash gets that big kick to the chin. He's rolling. He's gone.
There is the tag to Kylon King.
And Kylon, he showed aggression early in the contest. He hasn't chose to calm down. He's decided to attack. Oh my good golly.
Like a javelin to the floor. Huge German suplex from Kylon.
Elevated that man so high into the air.
He spiked Brad Baylor head first, and he isn't done.
He understands what it takes to defeat Brad Baylor. That wasn't enough. Northern, 2.
Hits the double.
Right on the toes with the double.
Oh, Baylor gets the shoulder up. Kylon King thought he had it wrapped, but swipe right continuing on their quest to rid themselves of the Miracle Generation.
Kylon King couldn't have executed that any better. Hits the double, releases Smokes, maintains that cover with every bit of his weight, and that's the near veteran experience at this point. It's been years of Kylon King coming to display. He didn't waste any time. Now hitting the precipice towards the top of the
Here is
podium.
Smokes again. Kylon trying to fight him off. Oh, how about that with a headbutt? Oh, here comes Baylor. Baylor is going to hang on with Deer. What the hell is he doing?
Oh, this is a rough position for both men.
Tries that high kick. Kylon caught him with the second. And there was a tag by Smokes. I don't think Kylon saw it.
Aye!
Huge spear from the Smoke Show. And now Swipe Right is about to do their work on the challengers.
Smokes with the cover. Aye!
Kylon gets the shoulder up.
He barely gets that shoulder up. Ricky Smokes, Brad Baylor, and that's the maturation of these two individuals, how quickly that cover was executed. But Kylon King's used to this level of competition.
Swipe Right, Miracle Generation tag team titles on the line here. Brother Greatness and Paul Crockett joining you at a packed house at the Palladium. Here comes Flash.
Oh!
Smokes is still hanging on here though.
Baylor not sure what to do, and Smokes down.
Cover.
Victory roll.
No, a count of 2. Super kick. High kick combo. Down he goes.
Oh, we've seen them win with this.
Baylor with nowhere to go.
Baylor terrified and sandwiched.
Double knees, is that it?
New champs.
Baylor gets the shoulder up. But the Miracle Generation knows they gotta keep pushing.
Once again, the experience on display. Kylon, back to that moonsault position.
Hits the moonsault. Frog splash. Oh, Ricky Smokes barely getting in at the last moment. All 4 competitors are down. They are giving it their all with the tag team titles at stake.
Smokes diving in like a short safety, breaking up that cover, throwing every bit of his weight into both members. Once a Kylon King in that instance, all 4 men down.
Tag team wrestling lives at Wrestling
15
Open. It has
minutes
been
have
one of the
elapsed in the time
staples
limit.
of
45
Wrestling
minutes
Open
remain.
every Thursday forever. Who is going to show that they are the premier tag team at Wrestling Open?
And this tag team wrestling living here is a staple that was in part crafted by the Miracle Generation. There's a big slap.
Slap across the face. Here comes Kylon.
Ah!
Double stomp from Ricky
No!
Smokes.
His ribs! He must have broke his ribs!
Hits the cutter.
Flash do what he can and driven!
Shotgun drop kick.
Kylon up? How? I don't know!
Hits the brain buster, and all 4 are down again.
And right now, Brad Baylor did everything in his power to make sure the back of his head did not land on that mat. All men down.
Miracle Generation against Swipe Right. Tag team titles on the line. Who is going to show that they are the very best?
And these individuals using every bit of time that they possibly can. Typically it'd be a 10-minute time limit. They've gone far beyond that.
As all 4 are starting to stir here, as this could be the main event of any Thursday we have at the White Eagle. But man, we still have so much more action to come, but who is going to step away from this as the tag team champions?
And this would affect the entire environment of Wrestling Open going forward as we step into our next season. But right now, oh wow.
He might have wobbled him there.
Aye.
There's a chop as these 2 trading in the center of the ring. They are slugging it out here. As the Miracle Generation are still showing signs of life.
And this match is completely broken down. Just a full-blown fight. Scott Robinson understands the stakes, though.
Testing the gas tanks. Reversal. Do-si-do.
Aye!
Double splash.
The Miracle Generation. Brad Baylor at the precipice.
I think they're going to go for it. I think they're going to go for the powerplex. Kylon going up top.
Dustin perched.
Wait, no. Here comes Smokes.
Oh, no. Smokes got Dustin hung up.
Oh, Baylor. Baylor hanging on here to Kylon
Aye.
as he is sent down.
The way he landed, you see him grab that wrist right away. We may have a break.
Oh, what in the hell do they have in mind here?
Aye!
Oh, absolutely stuffed him head first.
And they're not done.
They're going to go for it. Super swipe. Super swipe.
No.
Oh, my. They beat him again.
The time of the fall, 18 minutes, 12 seconds. Here are your winners and still Wrestling Open Tag Team Champions, Swipe Right.
I never thought I would see the day where I would have to say the Miracle Generation's time on top, it might be done for good.
The Miracle Generation may have to go back to the drawing board. Swipe Right have cemented their claim as champions at Wrestling Open.
And they did it as definitively as they did last time out against the Miracle Generation, as they pick up the victory and they remain the Wrestling Open Tag Team Champions. I'm kind of in shock.
Looking around here, you're not the only one. Hands on the top of the head, mouths agape, and heads bowed as though we're in service.
As Flash Waller and Kylon King.
Dejected, completely dejected.
As I really can't, there are no words to describe, because I think that the Miracle Generation might actually be old news.
Now you see Kylon limping out of here, and he was so angry at the beginning of the contest, and just, I think he may have shed a tear.
Well, we have a lot that has happened to lead up to
Still your tag team champions, Ricky Smokes and Brad Baylor. Swipe right.
Forgive the interruption there, but there was a long history between Gabby Forza and Allie Ketch. Let's take a look at what led up to that.